Today, Megan and I are going to talk about our favourite June DVD releases. I'm going to talk about the Grand Budapest Hotel with Ralph Fiennes, and Megan is going to talk about Joe with Nicolas Cage.
So my favorite June release DVD is an independent film called Joe, which stars Nicolas Cage. It was actually produced last year, but being an independent film, they generally take longer to be released in theaters and on DVD. And as I said, this film stars Nicolas Cage, who I thought was really good in a lot of the films we've seen him in recently. His acting is kind of hit or miss, mostly miss, but but in this one I thought he did a really good job. I thought he was really fit for this character. The story is about a man named Joe who lives in the South. He's an ex-con, and he meets a young boy named Gary, played by a young actor called Ty Sheridan. He was actually in the film Mud with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
And this film is kind of similar to that. He meets this young boy who is trying to escape an abusive father. He gets work with Joe, who is killing trees for a lumber company, and he becomes kind of a mentor to this young man. And their relationship is very sweet and caring. The film is rated R for language. There's strong language. There are some violent scenes, especially between the boy and his father, and between Joe and some of his former adversaries. There is some sexual content and just general disturbing kind of thematic elements, so it's definitely not for kids, but I think it's a very good story. One of the interesting things I found about the film is one of the supporting actors who played the young boy's father. His name is Gary Poulter, whom the film is actually dedicated to. He was a local in the town of Austin, which is where I believe they shot the movie, and he was a homeless man who was actually hired by the director to play this part in the film, and he unfortunately passed away a few months after filming ended. So the film was dedicated to him, but he played a brilliant, brilliant character as the father, who was an alcoholic and abusive to his family. And yeah, it's...
I haven't seen it. After listening to you, I think I'd like to see it. And yes, as you say, with Nicolas Cage, I think he does tend to make the list of worst actors.
Tends to, yeah.
But if the movie's right and the role fits him, I'd be interested to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's actually doesn't wear a weird wig in this one, which I seem to...
What about the eyeliner? Any eyeliner?
I didn't see any eyeliner in this one either. Okay. Yeah, he was pretty naturally looking.
Naturally, like all of us getting older.
Yeah, you know, had his normal receding hairline and all that.
Sorry, Nicholas.
The director actually, his name is David Gordon Green. He's actually directed a lot of comedies in the past. He is a director for the TV show Eastbound and Down, and he did The Sitter, Your Highness, Pineapple Express, a lot of those kind of comedy stoner type movies with Jonah Hill and James Franco and those kind of movies. So this is an interesting change, this kind of an independent film, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, this is my
that's your
pick.
favorite June DVD release.
Mm-hmm.
My favourite June DVD release is also an independent movie, but I do believe it made a lot of money, which is nice. It's directed by Wes Anderson, and it is the Grand Budapest Hotel. And if you know Wes Anderson, you know he's kind of wild and wacky. 2001, The Royal Tenenbaums. He also did Moonrise Kingdom, which I believe you said was Oscar nominated?
Yeah,
that was just a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He's a Texas guy, so yeah, as I say, he directed and he did the screenplay. The story, he collaborated with a British guy, Hugo Guinness. Great story. Now, if you want a silly DVD, this is it. It almost reminds me of a kind of evolved Airplane. You remember how wacky and silly they were? Where they just make you laugh out loud and don't take it seriously but enjoy it. It's kind of like that, but Wes Anderson style.
Very kind of tongue-in-cheek
Absolutely,
humor.
absolutely. Ralph Fiennes plays a concierge who runs this famous European hotel. And he, for me, made the movie, Megan.
Yeah.
You've seen this movie. I'm sorry I haven't seen yours. I know Megan has seen this one. He is priceless in this role as Gustave, this incredible concierge. And then along comes his new lobby boy, as he calls him, and he's a newcomer. He's from Anaheim, California, which kind of threw me. He's great in the role because he's so humble and sweet next to Gustave Ralph Fiennes' wackiness. An old lady dies, and I was amazed to find that this old lady is actually Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, who's really
yes,
good makeup.
Yeah, it took me a minute. She's in her early 50s,
Yeah.
and they made her look, you know, like
80 something.
absolutely, absolutely, very well done. She dies, and he's accused of her murder, and on it goes. But the script is incredible. It will just make you smile. It's only an hour and 20 minutes. Again, it's R-rated, not to be watched with children. It's not that there's that much, but what there is like, oh gosh, you know, that kind of like, okay. I was watching it with my 22-year-old, and even then I'm like, oh, move along. But it's a great movie. The cinematography is fantastic. Highly recommend the Grand Budapest Hotel.
So, Michaela, how many crumpets would you give the Grand Budapest Hotel?
I'm going to give it 4 good fat crumpets. And how many are you going to give Joe?
I'm also going to give Joe 4 crumpets.
Okay, here's to June DVD releases.